On average, people spend about an hour and 40 minutes every day on social media. Hey, welcome back to Undefined Therapy, and today we're going to be talking about the benefits of detoxing social media. A lovely subscriber of mine left in the comments below, like, can you talk about detoxing social media? And before I tell you to do something, I definitely want to let you know the benefits of it, and that's what I'm going to do right now. But before I jump on into those benefits, if this is your first time finding this channel, then I definitely want to ask you to subscribe here at Undefined Therapy, where I make mental health videos 2 to 3 times a week. And if you're already a subscriber, then I want to say thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. So first, I definitely want to say that I am not saying that social media is the devil. I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever invented. But what I am saying is that there have been statistics that have shown that social media can definitely warp the way that we feel about ourselves, how we see the world. On average, people spend about an hour and 40 minutes every day on social media. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm like, man, what could I do with the hour and 40 minutes if I'm not procrastinating and if I'm not tired? There are a lot of things that you can do with the hour and 40 minutes, but if you're waking up in the morning and you're like, oh my gosh, the first thing you think of is to reach for your phone and you're scrolling and then you lose track of time, or you're eating and you're scrolling. If you're going to sleep and it's keeping you up at night because you're scrolling on social media, those are some indicators that this detox may be something that you should try. Now that I told you and made sure you know that I am not coming for social media, let's definitely talk about these benefits. Number one, it will improve your overall mood. And if you're like, wait, I feel great already, that's great. Then maybe you don't necessarily need this detox. But studies have shown that an increased amount of time on social media is linked to feeling more depressed and anxious. And if you're like, wait a minute, how is that linked together? Well, if you think about it, when you're looking on social media, you're seeing people in their best. You know, some people do put out their business and they put out their negativity and how, maybe everything is not going well in their life. But for the most part, people be trying to stunt on social media. Every different platform definitely has its quirks and what people project on them, which I find really funny. So whether you're comparing, or maybe you're getting jealous or feeling envious, or really just tearing yourself down, those things can contribute to you feeling depressed, which is feeling sad or feeling low mood or not feeling very good about yourself, low insecurities, and that's not what we want. Number two is that you get to live in the moment more. You guys know that I'm always preaching about mindfulness and being present. When you're being present, you're able to really focus on yourself. You're really able to just reflect on the good and the bad that's going on. But if you're like, oh my gosh, I got to take a picture here, I got to take a picture here, I have to post this, I have to tell them this, I have to tell them that, there ain't nothing wrong, because that's how people hustle and grind. I do know that, but it does have to be a balance between being in the present and keeping things for yourself and enjoying it, versus you taking yourself away from it and removing yourself because you're trying to capture that moment instead of live it. Number three is that it will help you move forward. And you're like, wait, time doesn't stop. No, it doesn't stop. But if you're on social media and you're posting things in the present, if you flash forward sometimes to 3 months, 6 months, you could be a changed person. You could be like, I don't even know who that person was before, but those tweets, those pictures, those hashtags, everything that you're putting out there is still there. And sometimes if you're scrolling back on your own page, you like, wait a minute, did I actually say that? Which, if you are watching anything on the news, you have come to find out, man, that those past things have really come and destroyed some people's lives. My goodness. People need to really watch what they say and what they put out there, but that's a whole different topic. But it's just to say that if you're on social media and you're posting all the time, and in that moment, sometimes people retweet it and you can never take it back. And so it could be something that could be a negative reminder for you, or sometimes haunting you because it's something that you wish you could erase. Number four is that you will gain more free time. Now, if you haven't already checked it out, I just posted a video on how you can create a self-care routine, and it starts with just 20 minutes a day. Now, if you remember at the beginning of this video, I talked about that on average, at least most people spend an hour and 40 minutes. That's like, wait, hold on, let me do my math. 20, 40. That's like 5 days of a self-care routine that you can be adding into your life. And that's just one day. And some people spend 3 and 4. I mean, some people spend a lot of hours on social media. Again, I'm not coming from nobody. But if you have that time for yourself, you could be learning different things. You could be challenging yourself. You could be caring for yourself. You could be pushing yourself forward or doing that thing that you've known that you wanted to do, but you've been like, I don't got no time. Well, sorry, boo-boo. You got the time. You just not using it in a productive way, or you're not able to see that you have the time because you don't recognize how much time you're being on social media. Number 5 is you'll be able to connect with things outside of yourself in the virtual world. Now, I really like this one because as a therapist, I'm always preaching and trying to connect with people in real life. And I'm always telling people, hey, join a group, connect with your friends, spend time with them. Yes, sometimes friends are far away. Some of my best friends live in a different state. But when we can, we definitely try to connect in person because there's nothing like being present with someone. So if you're spending a lot of time on social media, you may not be going to the movies, you may not be working out, you may not be going to these different clubs or these festivals or these different events because you're kind of being sucked into other people's lives or into things that are just not really concerning your life because you're on social media scrolling. So if you take, just the time of an hour and 40 minutes, that's kind of the baseline because that's what is, the average least amount of time that people are spending. And you add that up over 7 days, that is like a lot of free time. That's a lot of time that you could be taking a cooking class or taking a painting class. So you could just be doing a lot of different things in that amount of time. So connect with your friends, connect with family, just take a road trip. I mean, you could just do a lot of things when you add up all that time. Plan a trip. Number 6, and I talked about this a little bit earlier with it being connected to depression, but you'll stop competing and comparing with others. My goodness, that is one of the biggest killers to self-esteem and people moving forward and believing themselves is comparing and feeling like you need to compete with someone. You are only ever competing with yourself. That's why I love track, y'all, because my coach used to always say, you're not competing with the next person. You are competing against the clock because both of you guys could come in at different times, but you may still go to nationals and you might give up because that person crosses the line. Yeah, I know that was like a track analogy, but it's to say that focus on yourself. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody has a different path. And sometimes, speaking of paths, every end goal does not have to follow the same steps. So someone may have gotten really famous this way and you may try to follow that same thing and just make it completely in a different space. So focus on yourself, focus on what's important to you, but you can't really do that if you're comparing and if you're feeling like you're competing with the next. And lastly, you will sleep better. Yes, I said it, you will sleep better. I am guilty of this as well, that before you go to sleep, you just kind of just scrolling through your phone and then, oh my goodness, I have found myself from Instagram to watching documentaries on Whitney Houston to all the way learning how to sew a pillow. The nighttime will get you caught up. It'll get you caught up real quick. So if you kind of just set a timer, set boundaries and say, you know what, at 10 o'clock, I'm not going to pick up my phone. Even if I'm not tired, I'm going to put it down. Then that can be a good way to let your body know that it's time to sleep. Like that good deep sleep, that slobber down your mouth sleep, that good sleep that you need if you're not constantly trying to think about what you may miss or what someone may post. There you have it. That was some benefits to why detoxing social media may be right for you. None may apply, some may apply, one may apply. Either way, I encourage you to just take the time to reflect to see how much time you are actually spending on social media. If any of these do apply, what you may kind of want to do to shift that, to change it, to make sure that if your hustle is social media and that's the way that you grind and that's the way you promote yourself, wonderful. I think it's amazing. I need to get better at it. But then it's not to say stop it completely, but just to make sure you set boundaries, make sure you understand to not let it take over your life and that it's one component, but it's not your complete life. If you found this video helpful, then I do encourage you to give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave on out of here. I love making mental health videos, and I just encourage you to join the family here at Undefined Therapy, and I'll talk to you soon.